Hey folks, welcome to the Association Playbook. I'm J.P. Moery. With the tables being flipped because Madeline Trabucco is going to interview me today. Hey, thank you, Insperity, for sponsoring the Association Playbook. We are live.
Awesome. Okay, so
go, Madeline.
So my first question for you
Yes.
is, what was your first job out of
Right.
college, and what did you take away from that experience?
Yes, thank you for that question. My first job out of college was selling radio advertising at WWLS Radio in Norman, Oklahoma. I was the worst salesperson ever. I almost starved from it. I couldn't ask for the sale. And I learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
You've gotta ask. I would go to people, I would go to prospects. There's a particular baseball card shop in southeast Oklahoma City. I love those guys. I was there all the time. Wasted all my time over there looking at baseball cards, and I never asked for the clothes.
Yeah.
We could help them. I just never asked. They eventually do. Like, do you want something? Oh yeah, I want you to buy some advertising. I was terrible, but I learned a lot. I learned a lot through that.
Nice. Well, being from Oklahoma, what brought you to the DC area?
Right. Well, this was late 80s. So Oklahoma was in a period of its latest energy crisis and energy recession. So there just weren't a lot of opportunities. And I'd always enjoyed public policy and politics. So I called my best friend, Hazen Marshall, who works for Senator McConnell here, and at that time worked for Senator Nichols from Oklahoma. I said, hey, can I come and see if I can find a job on Capitol Hill? And he said, sure. I spent 2 weeks walking the streets of Washington, D.C., looking for a Capitol Hill job. So much so I had blisters on my feet, and I had to stop. And a really nice lady at the Hart Office building said, she God bless her, she was over there, she said, will you come here for a second? I said, yeah. She goes, you should look for an off-the-hill job. And they had a 3-ring binder, and it was full of job opportunities at associations.
Okay.
So that's how I got connected with associations.
Nice, nice.
So thank goodness, because I was getting ready. I tell this story. I was down to my last $50, and I was going to have to go back and basically run a bulldozer for my dad. I had $50 to go, so it was critical, because I was probably, next to being the worst salesperson, I was the worst bulldozer operator in the country. So we were in a situation where we burned the boats. There was nothing behind us. We had to make something happen here.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, coming from Oklahoma to DC, it's obviously very different atmosphere. Yeah. What do you think were some of the biggest challenges in that regard?
Well, the pace was one.
Yeah.
I remember walking down, I think it was K Street, and I was just kind of sauntering down the street there, and people were just flying by me.
Yeah.
Like I was a moving chicane. I was a moving roadblock. So the pace here was much more rapid.
Yeah.
And that I had to adjust to, right? I don't know, you might be seeing that from California too.
Definitely, yeah.
But the other part, here's the part that I think was advantageous. The values of hard work, showing up, being present, and respecting everyone that you worked with, regardless of their station or position, was something very important. So that's what I learned back home,
Right.
that I hopefully still implemented our company today. So I learned a lot, but the biggest adjustment was pace.
Definitely.
And lots of talent here. Like, you have to be on all the time.
Right.
Because somebody is going to come take it. If you're not going to, somebody else will do it. So that was a learning experience too.
Right, right. And also kind of going into the sports world, being a college athlete. And
She's very good at this. We should, I'm not going to do this anymore. Madeline's going to be the new host of the Playbook.
Oh, you're the host?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. I think you do a fine job.
Thank you.
Well, going into the sports world, being a college athlete myself,
Yeah.
Sports has really influenced other areas of my life. And I was just wondering if you could kind of share how sports, your activity in sports, have influenced your professional life.
Oh, wow. I love that question. I love to hire athletes.
Right.
Got you, Jordan, Mike was I love
Right.
the idea of putting yourself out there.
Mm-hmm.
Athletes have to do that. Athletes have to show up to be good. They have to be dedicated.
Right.
I love being able to put yourself out on the field of play, because really sales is a lot like that. If you don't get out on the field, it won't happen. So that is probably the biggest takeaway. And also taking care of your own responsibilities
Mm-hmm.
for the overall good. So, right, you're in water polo. By the way, you're going to have to teach me about that sport. And I think it's very interesting.
Yeah.
But if you didn't take care of your own thing and your own responsibility,
Right.
or having your responsibility on that play, the overall team won't work. Right?
Right. Right.
That's business is totally like that.
Right.
Right? So your individual responsibilities play out for the whole team. And I think we miss that in school sometimes. Right?
Right.
In school, it's totally opposite. Or it's often the opposite. It's your own individual work. It's your own individual work. K through 12, sometimes in college, it's
Yeah.
your own work. And then what do we do when you actually go to the workforce? You got to work
Right.
as a team. What? I don't know what that's
Yeah.
like. So that's why athletics, I think, can be very helpful
Right.
in the business world, especially team athletes.
Right.
That's why I like it.
Definitely. Yeah, so for my last question, coming on board as a college grad, I've kind of noticed that you like to hire younger professionals, Jordan Weiss, for an example. Why do you think you have done that, and what do you kind of learn from working with younger professionals?
Yeah. Well, you've all agreed to work for free, so that's part of it. No, that isn't part of it. I like this, and I hope that I never changed this aspect of my own development as a business person. When you're new, you know that you're willing to learn. Like, you know, you don't know this business. We
Right.
have to teach you.
Right.
And I like that opportunity and molding and shaping our values
Mm-hmm.
and the way that we do things.
Right.
And you're open to that because you're new to it. I like hiring people with that kind of mindset, because sometimes what you'll run into is you have folks that are so experienced, or they've been in the game for so long, that they quit learning.
Yeah. Right.
So that's the key. Hiring people that are willing to continue to learn. Kim Gillum, who is behind the phone and the video today, didn't know anything about social or podcasting or anything like that. She was a magazine editor.
Right.
You know, we're talking about you and you're behind the camera, so you can come around and talk about it. But, right, so we got to teach you, you know, you've got to continue to learn.
Right. Right.
So that's what I'm hiring. Not
Yeah.
necessarily the demographic of a young person right out of college,
Right.
but the willingness to do that.
Right. Right. Makes sense. Awesome. Well,
How'd
thank
we
you.
do?
We did good. Yeah.
I think
he
so.
was good.
Yeah. Hey, we got to do this again. This is going to be a regular show. Thanks for watching the playbook today. And ready, 1 o'clock. Big announcement today. Can't wait to see you then. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, Madeline.
Yeah. Thank you.